On today's video, I'm going to be taking you on a driving tour of a brand new community here in Lavon, Texas called Hillstead. This neighborhood is building on 40, 50, and 60-foot lots with builders including Perry Homes, Highland Homes, American Legend, and Drees Custom Homes. Hillstead has just kicked off construction with multiple phases still to come, so there should be plenty of opportunities if you're considering making a move for a build-from-scratch home or looking for inventory. The community already has its amenities built out with pools, pavilions, pickleball courts, and more, giving it a true neighborhood feel. In this video, I'll be talking you through what the pricing looks like, everything from starting prices, floor plans, and quick move-in options. I'll also cover HOA fees, tax rates, and other costs to expect while giving you a look at the curb appeal and overall vibe as we drive through. By the end of this video, you'll have a good sense of whether Hillstead could be the right fit for your family.
So that makes sense.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another video today. You join me over here at the Hillstead neighborhood located in Lavon, Texas in Collin County. We're gonna be doing a driving tour today. It's a neighborhood getting built right off of Highway 205, which also turns into Goliad Street once you head a little bit more south, closer into Rockwall. So the location of this area, it's gonna be a little bit further out from Dallas. You're gonna be more towards the northeast side of Dallas over by Lake Lavon and Lake Ray Hubbard. So not a lot of options in terms of roads and highways to get over to this area. So just keep in mind, if you are someone that is having to commute into Dallas or commute into Frisco or go to the airport a lot, this neighborhood is not going to be that convenient. Now, in terms of prices, builders, amenities in the neighborhood, going to be a little bit better than what you find in some other areas, but there is a reason for that. And that's due to kind of also the infrastructure as well, not just the location, but also the infrastructure over here. Not a lot of grocery stores, not a lot of mixed use developments and hangout areas and concert venues and things like that. It's really just a bunch of small businesses around this area of Lavon, and you've got neighborhoods starting to pop up. And then besides that, it's a lot of farmland over here. So this area will continue to develop out over the next 10 years. I do think that more of Salina and Anna and Van Alstyne, I think those areas will develop out a little bit quicker than what you'll see over here in like Lavon or Farmersville and these areas that are starting to get a little bit more northeast of Dallas. The tax rate in here is gonna be 2.5%. And the reason it's a little bit higher is because there is a PID associated with it. Typically Lavon taxes are around 1.9%. They can be a little bit less than that. It really depends on what ISD also that the neighborhood is zoned for. Sometimes these neighborhoods are zoned for Community ISD, and sometimes these neighborhoods are zoned for Wiley ISD. And this neighborhood is zoned for Wiley ISD compared to some of the other ones that I'm gonna be doing tours over here in Lavon. For the HOA in this neighborhood, it's $950 per year, which is about $79 per month. For Highland Homes, they're building 40-foot lots. On the low end, you can do the Corby plan, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet, starting at $378,000. And then on the high end, there is the Livingston plan, 3 to 5 bed, 2 to 4 bath, 1 half bath, 2,594 square feet, starting at $459,000. And on their website right now, their quick move-ins range from $432,000 up to $563,000. And here's the plat map. Yellow is going to be available, red is going to be coming soon, orange is going to be quick move-in, and gray is going to be sold. For Drees Custom Homes in here, they're doing 50 and 60-foot lots. On the low end, there is the Auburn plan. It's a 3-bed, 2 to 3 bath, 2,151 square feet, starting at $455,000. And then on the high end, there is the Gavin plan. That's a 5-bed, 4-bath, 1 half bath, 3,603 square feet, starting at $584,000. Quick move-ins in here, they've got 6 on their website, ranging from $484,000 up to $589,000. And here is the plat map for Drees Custom Homes. Green is available, blue is quick move-in, tan is going to be the future home sites, and red is going to be sold. And for American Legend in here, they're also doing 40-foot lots. They have the plan 1471, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,805 square feet, starting at $379,000. And then there is the plan 1478, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,778 square feet, starting at $469,000. And their quick move-ins range from $479,000 up to $516,000. Here's the plat map for this neighborhood. Light yellow is going to be available, dark yellow is going to be the inventory, gray is going to be the future release, and red is going to be sold. And for the last builder in here, Perry Homes, they're doing 50 and 60-foot lots. You can do a 50-foot lot, 2251W plan, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,251 square feet, starting at $522,000. And on the high end, there is the 3553W plan, 5-bed, 4-bath, 1 half bath, 3,553 square feet, starting at $600,000. $31,000, and they have 2 quick move-ins right now on their 50-foot lots, ranging from $499,000 up to $524,000. And for their 60-foot lots in here, they have the 2493W plan, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,493 square feet, starting at $598,000. And there's the 4016W plan, 5-bed, 4-bath, 1/2 bath, 4,016 square feet, starting at $735,000. For their quick move-ins right now, they've got stuff ranging from $599,000 up to $624,000. From Zillow.com and from the MLS, what's the cheapest home in here right now? It's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 1,940 square feet, priced at $434,000 on a 5,000 square foot lot. And then the most expensive home for sale in here right now, pre-owned, is a 4-bed, 4-bath, 2,972 square feet, priced at $624,000 on a lot size that is 7,400 square feet. Lot sizes in here in general are going to range from 4,700 square feet for those 40-foot lots, maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe, I think the smallest was around 4,700 square feet. So you might have something a little bit smaller than that, depending on where it's at in the neighborhood, but this is what I was finding from online. And then on the high end, I think the biggest lot in here was like 7,800 square feet, but it seemed like anything over 7,500 square feet was like really oversized. Maybe they'll be bringing bigger lots. They still might be a 60-foot lot product, but maybe some of them might be a little bit bigger here and there because of the pie shape or how they're building the roads out, and maybe more cul-de-sacs or things like that. They do have more phases going into this neighborhood, but for right now, the lot sizes in this phase just seem a little bit smaller just because most of the lots in here are squared off and not a lot of pie-shaped lots and not a lot of cul-de-sacs. I think there was like 1 cul-de-sac in this first phase of the neighborhood, maybe 2 cul-de-sacs in this first phase. I think really I just came by 1, but yeah, not a lot of cul-de-sacs, so that means that those lots aren't gonna be bigger. Usually those are the oversized lots just because of the pie shape. Most of these lots were like a good even rectangle shape. So that's why I say 5,000 to 6,000 square feet. That seemed to be the average lot size. Amenities in this neighborhood, you're gonna have a walking trail, community center, pickleball court, pool, patio area, and community event lawn. So I think it really hits on all the amenities that people usually want within a neighborhood. Yes, are there other neighborhoods in Lavon that have even more amenities? You have a Lavon, for example, that has tons of amenities in there. You've got tons of water features and very long walking trails. However, I do think that this neighborhood really still fits the bill for people that are still looking for amenities within a neighborhood but don't want to have something that's too overwhelming. You can go into Lavon and it's very, very overwhelming. There's a lot of builders in there. There's a lot of different options with this, which is great, but the builders in there, I'm not really the biggest fan of, but I will be coming out soon with a neighborhood tour over that community, so I'll give my pros and cons as well on that one. Prices are probably going to be a little bit better in there, depending on how big of a floor plan you go with, but the builders in there not going to be better than what the builders you're going to find in this neighborhood. Honestly, this neighborhood I find has the best builders compared to a lot of the other communities over on this side. You really have to go down into Rockwall to kind of get better, or about the same builders, like literally the same. You got Highland Homes, American Legend, those builders also building in Rockwall, but they're not really building over here in Lavon, Texas, or even a little bit further north. And this neighborhood is going to be zoned for Wiley ISD. That's going to be for Kramer Elementary, Harrison and Burnett Junior High School, and Wiley East High School. Commute times out of here down to Dallas is going to be 40 minutes. DFW Airport is going to be 50 minutes. Frisco is going to be 45 minutes away. Fort Worth is going to be an hour and 15 minutes away. The nearest grocery store is going to be 6 minutes away, and the nearest hospital is going to be 15 minutes away. For the pros and cons in this neighborhood, kind of weighing options here, maybe comparing this to also some other communities. The HOA in here being less than $1,000 per year. It's about in the middle, I feel like, for a pro and a con. It's great the level of amenities that you're getting within this neighborhood. Once again, I really do think this hits and checks a lot of the boxes that a lot of my buyers are looking for in terms of what they want. Right, you get into these neighborhoods, they'll have like a community center, but it's really just like the saddest looking pool in the world. This one actually had like an event lawn space, looked like an actual area where you could hang out, take your kids, have some events, also have a pool area, and then there was a pickleball court that they built as well. So they didn't just put a pool in here, they did add some more other things, and it did look kind of aesthetically pleasing compared to some of the other neighborhoods I find that also have HOAs around $1,000 per year. Sometimes the builders are just as good or a little bit less, but I do like what they brought in terms of amenities in this neighborhood, and the curb appeal of this neighborhood also looks really good. This neighborhood is in its beginning phases as well, so they have started breaking ground in terms of grading out lots into their next phase. So buying in this phase, you're still kind of more towards the beginning of this neighborhood rather than the end. It still looks like they have a good bit of time to go within this neighborhood. I would say conservatively, there's at least 2 years left. Maybe even more. I mean, really, it's more realistic to be maybe 3 to 4 years left to build in this neighborhood, but conservatively speaking and seeing where this neighborhood is at right now, I would say at least 2 years left to build in this neighborhood. So it still is more towards the beginning of the neighborhood, and they still have good inventory homes, so I'm sure you could find a deal if you are looking for something. In terms of prices and square footage, like some of the Dries custom homes were the best, like the most square footage I was finding at the cheapest prices with these builders with the level of amenities, and also zoned for a decently good school district, okay? When you compare Wiley ISD with Community ISD, Wiley ISD is going to be better. When you compare Wiley ISD with maybe some of the other options around the area, it is going to rank probably a little bit lower. But once again, school districts are just funny to me because I'm running into situations, now that I've been doing real estate for over 5 years, I'm starting to hear stories about some of my families with their school districts, and like, I'll have, like, for example, everyone wants to get into Prosper ISD. Well, I've got families that have contacted me saying they're not having the best experience with Prosper ISD. Then I've got families that are in Salina ISD or McKinney ISD, and they're having a perfectly fine school experience with their kid right now. So once again, the school district thing, I mean, I think it also comes down to like your kid and what your kid is into, and if they play football or if they're in band, because not only are the school districts going to be different, you know, between each other, but even when you get into these school districts, and the schools themselves are going to be different between high school and high school, middle school and middle school. So once again, I think the school district is just funny to me on ratings because I see these ratings, but I hear some families having bad experiences and then some families having good experiences. But overall, if you go online and do your research, Wiley ISD is going to rank a little bit better than Community ISD. And then you say, okay, well, what about Rockwell ISD? Well, I'll just say this. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news lately, and maybe you can kind of do your own research here, but Rockwell ISD and Rockwell Heath High School, they have not been in the news for good reasons lately. Let's just say that, and I'll leave it there. You can do your own research on that. But overall, this neighborhood, I really do like the curb appeal. I really do like these builders. Now, I know some of you guys maybe have already built your house with some of these builders in here, and you guys are going to have your own opinions. I say this, and I try to say this in all my videos. For every experience you have with the builder and it's good, there's another person having a bad experience. So I do like Highland Homes, I do like American Legend, I do like Perry, I do like Dries Customs. I've worked with all these builders. From my experience, they've all been fine to work with. Were they all perfect? No. But did they all deal with their problems and fix these problems that we ran into? Yes. So once again, these builders, track record wise for me, are a little bit better than the builders I find over in like 11, which is that other big master plan community with K.Havnanian and D.R. Horton and just like there's a whole bunch, History Maker and Pace Setter Homes. There's a whole bunch of builders in there compared to this neighborhood. But I do like these builders better. I do find that my buyers like these builders in terms of design center, floor plans, layouts, and just the feel of the house. These homes in here feel a lot more homey, and the curb appeal has a lot more character to them and looks better on the elevation. This neighborhood is also close to Lake Lavon and Lake Ray Hubbard. So if you do want to be a part of that lake life, you have two options for two really pretty lakes. So you're really close to that as well. Now for the cons in this neighborhood, the roads leading into this neighborhood, you are off 205, which is a nice moving road, which can kind of get you quicker out to 380 or down into Rockwall to get over into Dallas. But the road going into this neighborhood doesn't have curbs, no lights, so it still kind of feels like a county road going in here. So infrastructure wise, you will still be going through some of the growing pains, but this neighborhood being close to Highway 205, it's so close, you hop onto that, you're on a fast moving road. So I think this also is an area that's set up the best for commuting out of here, so that could be a little bit more of a pro, but I still float towards commute times on all those things can still be a con, because just like I say in my videos with Rockwall, it's very hard to get in and out of that city, just like where this is located, hard to get in and out of the city. It's not like Frisco or Salina or Prosper or McKinney or Anna, where you have multiple roads you can kind of get in and out of. You really only got two options at the end of the day. You're either going 380 or you're going south into Rockwall and taking those highways down into Dallas. So you don't have a lot of options. So if there are accidents, wrecks, traffic, there's no way around it. There's also a large power line structure running through what is going to be the middle of the neighborhood. Right now it's on the south side of the neighborhood, so if you're looking at current lots right here, I would stick more towards the north, but those are lot sizes that are 50s and 60s. More of the 40-foot lots are on the south side. I just want to go too far south on this current phase because some of those lots right now back up to ginormous power line structures, which I would try to stay away from. And if you're going to wait to buy in this neighborhood, just once again stick more towards the north side of this community because they do have a big power line structure running through the middle. And then there's also a PID in this neighborhood, so that is going to be a con. But for the other neighborhoods around Lavon, they're also going to have PIDs with master plan communities. There's some other neighborhoods that don't have, like Lake Breeze with Union, Maine, they don't have a PID, but you're not going to have an amenity center. You're not going to have the options of different builders. And it's going to be a very small neighborhood, which is almost built out. So once again, you kind of have to weigh your options there, and there's going to be a compromise. So either you're paying for a PID, and you've got really good builders, or you've got a really good neighborhood with tons of amenities, or you don't get a PID, you get a cheaper tax rate, but you're going to get nothing within the neighborhood. And back to commute time. So the drive to the hospital is going to be a little bit further. So if you do need to be close to a hospital system, or you do want to be close to an ER, not going to have a lot of options here. You're going to be driving a little bit further, but at least there is a grocery store that is somewhat close to this neighborhood down in Rockwall. And that's going to be my quick take on Hillstead over here in Lavon, Texas. If you guys have any other questions about building in Lavon, Texas, or around Rockwall or in North Texas, please send me a text or give me a call. I have all my information down below. Would love to work with you and your family on your home search. Other than that, peace out, y'all, and take it easy as always.
Thanks for checking out my channel and watching that video. I got more videos floating around here. If you're in the market to buy or sell real estate in the DFW area, contact me. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Besides that,